All right, everybody, here we go. With Atlanta a few days away, I figured I would throw my hat in the ring and uh, do a tier list of some of my picks to where they're going to lie in the meta, right? It's not a full breakdown of everybody in the meta, but this is some of my characters that I have my eye on and where they're going to place. I'm just guessing, throwing it out. I'm not going to Atlanta, so I'm not calling my shot or anything. But I am going to throw some hot takes out there. Not really probably hot takes, but I don't know, stuff I think. So first up, we're going to go with perennial powerhouse Overhaul. He got a lot from Attack on Titan. He got Mists of Despair. He has, he has the Mists of Despair into Mists of Despair into Mists of Despair into Falling Skies combo, which is very, very potent on turn 2. You also have Tetra Terror. You have ways to make sure that hits because your opponent doesn't want to let you hit with Mist. So I am going to... oh no. Oopsies. We'll move this down a bit. There we go. And I'm going to put him actually as a dark horse to top. I just think that other characters after him are just more powerful. But his non-prog is still really good. Maximum Overhaul is still really good. But he's just not a guarantee to top anymore. Just better characters now that just put stats easier and faster. Mecha Godzilla Bionic Menace. I'm gonna say he's going to be on the bubble. Depending on if you run into Rodons or Mothras, or not that people are going to be playing Mothra, or defensive style decks, really punish this guy because he really needs to go in by X amount of turns or he's just going to mill out. So I think the meta is kind of solved, not around this guy, but being able to defend those burst decks. So yeah, I would assume he probably would kind of bubble out. I know in St. Louis, I believe he top 16'd. Ross, I believe, played him from Let's Talk UVS to a top 16 finish, I believe. And yeah, so next up, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm calling Rodon as a winner. There's gonna be multiple. There might be one or two other characters I think that can win, but I think Rodon's the first real. Hey, if I dodge the Smiling Titan matchup, or there's only one Smiling Titan in tops, and they get bopped by somebody on the opposite side or whatnot, or maybe they're lower on the bracket, I can avoid them. But he does have the tools. All Symbol has tools to deal with her. Void has it. It's that's just really the only traditionally bad matchup, right? I would say maybe the Elder Dagoro deck too, if anyone feels like piloting that. I just think that he's just the best character in the format right now, to be honest. So, Smiling Titan, I think she's going to top 8. I also think I'm also going to go out and say I think there's only going to be one in tops because I think she's going to be the most played character. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Smiling Titan will be the most played character, and then it's going to have the Ojiro 2 effect to where they're all going to face each other in the middle rounds to middle to tables, and only one, maybe two will squeak in, just because of they're just going to take each other out. Another dark horse character would be Mothra. Yeah, I know it's Mothra, but she does say commit. I block any 8 damage, any 8 diff move I want, right? She could be a sideboard character, but I actually think this character is really sick if you're able to find a build. Maybe someone's been working on a super secret build of her, and that we just don't know about. I have faced a Mothra locally and lost to it as Toga 3 because it does say -8 speed on Walk the Dog. So, yeah. Next up, Ymir. I think Ymir could top 8. I don't think she can win. I think she can win, but I think this Rodon. You know what? We're gonna put her up there because if she's able to push through and draw enough attacks and just go in and the throw package just kind of kills Rodon. Yes, there are ways to circumvent the throw hate, but Mikasa's defeat the female Titan. But I think I still think Rodon beats her hands down. But I'm just gonna say I'm calling Rodon as my winner, obviously. Oh man, I really like Ymir a lot in that matchup though because she can just scream him and just cut him down to size. So yeah, you know what we're gonna do? Yeah. Ymir can also win the event just because on the sheer volume. The life build, the fire builds defense is crazy because you get barrier shield and you get Ymir face and you get a couple other options, and then the life package just doesn't ever die because it has immortal shapeshifter and that has like the giant stat pumps that's where you get like the plus X like 13, 14, 15 damage. Next up is Aaron Yeager. I'm gonna say he's gonna be I think he's going to be a bubble deck. Again, he's on the back of combined firepower and twisting Azure Inferno. There are ways like the top decks can beat that. Um, Rodon can beat that with some decent card draw and blocking and speed resets. I think he's going to be represented. I just think he's going to be on the bubble just because his deck's a little too not niche, but like one-sided. It's really all, it kind of can be all in on the Twisting Azure Inferno combined firepower play. Mina 2 is going to be there. I don't think she's going to top. I think her time in the sun has gone. I think Mina 2 is on her way out to pasture. Just people know how to play against her. She may surprise someone. We may get I think only a couple people may play her, if even at all. I think she's just kind of like the quintessential all-in aggro, and she kind of struggles to kill people if they know how to block right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Crystal Lens, I love this character. I think she's a dark horse to top. Being able to stack your opponent's deck on whatever they check or whatever you draw has some merit. Crimson Sparrow accelerates her counter game. She could stack it where she can draw and walk the dog after walk the dog after walk the dog. And I really think that she is a really dark horse contender. I just think like against the Rodons, the Ymirs, the Smilings, she just kind of isn't there. So like I wouldn't be surprised if she top 16, but I think like the dark horse is in that top 16 bubble-ish area. So yeah, we're going to say dark horse and top 16 are kind of the same, but they're like the bottom tier of the top 16. Dobby 2, like I've heard there's like, he certainly does turn on, he does have a really good throw game. He can play some like really good attacks. I think this character is underexplored. I know this is like a hot take, but I think Dobby 2 could top if someone showed up with a good deck. He does put damage on to Twisting Azure Inferno. He can find his wound restores as needed. Yeah, like he can Sugar Rush power up into like a billion combined. I can't play combined firepower, right? Does Ghidorah have? Ghidorah doesn't have fire or all. Or chaos. So, but he can definitely find his way into certain matchups if someone wants to take the time. Mikasa Ackerman, I think she's a top 16 character. Yeah, sure, the nerf hurt her, but I just think she's still going to draw a billion cards and kill people who aren't ready for her. I just think she just doesn't get the cool stat fluctuation like Pony does. So yeah, I think that she could top 16, but she's going to lose to a deck that can actually like defend well. I also think Endeavor 3's time in Endeavor's 3 time in the sun is done. I think he's burnt out. There's just better characters that do kind of the same. Like Smiling is like kind of like the new aggro character. Endeavor was kind of like last formats like quintessential. I'm gonna play the aggro character like along with Toga, who's really like a turn 3. I think Elder top 8s if someone plays the deck. They're not going to be as good as Travis Tangeman with it, I think, but if someone wants to play this cancer, I think they will, and they'll probably top 8 with it. They'll just probably end up losing to Smiling. Dark Horse Tor 2, she's always good in the meta. Like, she beats the Godzilla, the City Rampage, Godzilla stuff. Even the 8, she's really good into the 8 diff package because they're just like, cool, you committed 5, lift it, and then they have to play another, like they're gonna have to play 2, they're gonna have to build for like 3 turns, and then that just goes into her game plan. I would not be surprised to see Ochako top 8. This character's still crazy, and she's just able to put on so much stats, not in the level of Smiling, but she could definitely like blitz out a character. The only thing I think is that her symbols, like you have to play her on the right symbol. Like you get a bunch of air stuff from Attack on Titan, like Whirling Slash, which can extend it. You could play her off of water to get the cool asset package and defense package, and then attune air to get like Whirling Slash. You still get Battle Aura Release and Falling Skies on that, so it still works out pretty well. Nejire, someone's got to top with her, right? Like, she's not bad. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's pretty much a bummer this character has never topped an event. It sucks. She's really good. I could see... Oop. There he is. I could see Ghidorah winning. Ghidorah the Explorer is just a pain in the ass to deal with if someone's not prepared for him. He's really good, I believe, into smiling into like aggro decks. He slows them down. His defense is very good. He can play a really good evil package, a really good void package. Yeah, he's just pretty good all around. Voxeldan. I've heard rumblings of a City Rampage water version of this character that is pretty nuts. So I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up if someone workshopped it and practiced its matchups. And like, he's still a risky character, right? Like, he can still play risky encounter after he burns you and then blow up his stuff and kill you. Toga 3 is Toga 3. She may be the second most represented character there. She's top 16 material. Unless her matchups go really well and she just draws hot. Character's really good going first, very mid going second. It just depends on your draws, right? Mirio. Man, I want Chaos Mirio to be super good, but I think they're just better characters. Granted, he does get some really cool defense into the Smiling Titan matchup. It's just he doesn't get to put speed on anything. And sure, he zone checks you, but like with Mikasa defeats the female Titan in the meta now, like no one worries about their block zones. Godzilla, top 16 material. He can keep the flip Titans in check. He can also slow down the Smiling Titan decks, just because he can blow up the, like, cool, we're going to nuke it. And then hopefully, like, I don't know if you nuke it against that because they're going to get to build and then swing again. So, I don't know. But I think he could top 16. Not the Brave. Yeah, I think they'll, top 16. I know the last webcam, Let's Talk UVS, Tam, Cardwell, webcam event, we had a not top. So, granted, it's probably off the back of combined firepower and risky maneuver. Risky encounter. Yeah, but still, this character's pretty good. I think Wolfwood is probably a lock for a bubble. Granted, he is probably the best. Yeah, he's probably the best Twisting Azure Inferno character. Just, we were waiting for this character to like explode everybody after Younger Toguro got nerfed. So I think this guy here, I don't know. Like, I think he's good, but he's not good enough to get into the tops, like to beat the Dark Horses and the top cutters. Oh, I'm going to say Ryan Levine's going to be top 8 with Hawks. Probably top 4. So, yeah. But I think, like, Rodan, Ymir, and King Ghidorah do better. So, yeah. But if anyone takes Hawks, it's Ryan Levine, and he'd be the quintessential, I'm going to top with Hawks. I don't know if Disaster Dan is going with Inasa and his 4-check deck, but Inasa and the 4-check deck is kind of nuts. Granted, he wants to be able to play out those 3 diffs and the large costed foundations. So I believe that Inasa is a dark horse. I know he topped the webcam regional, but I think that this character is a dark horse to top. Toga 1, the new Gamer Toga stuff, I believe that's going to be a dark horse. I believe like it's too dependent on drawing the correct hand with the Twisting Azures, risky encounters, the Myths of Despair. Like it's too much of a Yahtzee deck to actually guarantee a top. And there, I'm gonna pause. All right, we had to pause the video and restart the music. So anywho, yeah. So next up, Mountain Lady 2. Sorry, girl. You're gonna get pummeled by characters who can defend well. Just this character takes advantage of people who overextend, and she doesn't put speed on anything. Granted, she commits face-ups, but her matchup into some of the top decks like King Ghidorah and Smiling are kind of dependent on draws. But I just think this character isn't good enough to top. I think Amajiki is a lock for top 16. Yeah, top 16. I believe that the meta is kind of volatile, a little too volatile, and like his Smiling Titan matchup, he has to get through that second turn, be able to defend well, and then build up his momentum, because then he can basically nuke something down. But then again, it's going to be for 1 billion speed, so you're going to have to use your momentum for defensive resources to reset speed. So I think overall, I think his matchups are good into the field, but I just believe that he kind of has to hit the right matchups to keep going in the tournament. I think Death Arms is a bubble character. I think only a few people are going to play him, and they may get close, but again, you can't survive off the back of Risky Encounter alone. And Twisting Azure Inferno, I mean, it's a 4. I know it's a 4, but sometimes you do play it because you can get stats on it. But I just think that he's a good City Rampage character, but I also think that you just can't live off of that. You need to have something else. Oh no, go back. Oh man, come on. Stupid mouse. Let's see here. Okay, cool, we got it fixed. Pony. This character's nuts. She draws her entire deck by turn 2 or 3. If she goes first the entire tournament, she wins. Just how it's going to be. Byakko is a Byakko. Always going to Dark Horse it because he loves to just say, hey, you don't have foundations. You do, but they don't do anything. Bakugo 4. I think he's a top 16er. Just I think that if he runs into the right matchups, he may be able to run the board. But again, he doesn't do anything defensively other than clear his card pool. And I think people are going to be ready for him, unlike the webcam event where I believe he was first seed. Someone's going to bring a Recovery Girl on top. I just don't know where. I just don't think she's good ymnugh to win, because a lot of the top decks, like Smiling, just nukes her down. Rodan could just block her for days. Ymir can nuke her down. So some of the matchups are pretty grindy, but I think she's just at the bottom tier of the top 16. Let's go with. We already have our top 16 right here. So I believe Mimic's kind of a dark horse right now, with the giant stats dot deck, the 4-check decks. He has some trouble blocking early on, so he's going to have to find a way to get momentum to nuke stuff down. He does have some foundations that can use for defense, but I actually think that he's not in the greatest spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he topped. Ryuko. This character is crazy, stupid, dumb, broken, whatever. She just plays the game unfair with the new foundations out of Attack on Titan. She prints momentum, and VME is one of the best cards in the game right now because there's only a few cards that actually just get rid of it. But I think that she could win the event if given the right matchups. Obviously, all this is based on matchups, but with the right player, I think she's very, very good. And a fun deck, Toya. I think Toya could top if the right pilot runs them. Being able to commit stuff on your rival's turns, pretty good. Having half a showdown on face is pretty decent, and it works, offensively and defensively. Plus, he can just when your rival plays an 8 diff move and they commit 5 of them, they're like, cool, -5 speed. Granted, it's still like 9 speed, but still, or whatever. But yeah, it helps you block some. So he's like in that Mothra zone where he could be really good in this meta, but he could also be very bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tops. So that's my picks for, like, I just randomly grabbed characters off of Ultra. I do have, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's your top 16, top 8, and a winner slot. So you have your, like, so we'll figure it out. We'll see how it's played out in October 5th and 6th. So yeah, let me know what you think your picks are going to be. Well, your picks to click, I should say. And then if I'm wrong, yell at me. If I'm right, congratulate me. So until then, I'll hopefully see you on the other side of the regional, and good luck to everyone playing. And travel safe, and until the next video, take care.